To celebrate the animated series Pokémon Horizons, Niantic is going to be throwing a tie-in event within Pokémon GO. We're going to be able to get ourselves a brand new Pokémon family, and we're getting ourselves costume Pokémon, which are directly from the animated series. I'm really excited about this one. I think there's a lot of really good things going for this event, but there is one particular thing that I think is going to rub players the wrong way. And we're going to be talking about all of this in today's video. Let's get right into it. Alright, what's happening everyone? Count Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon GO video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. So let's talk about this Pokemon Horizons tie-in event. It's going to be a pretty good event, in my opinion. I really do think that there's a lot of good things that Niantic is doing, in particular around the costume Pokemon, and there's also going to be some pretty decent wild spawns as well. But in particular, I think a lot of people are really unhappy with how Niantic is handling the release of Tinkatink. It's going to be a brand new Pokemon that's going to be making its debut in Pokemon GO, but I think a lot of players do not like the fact that this Pokemon is going to be locked behind premium content. That has been the trend with Niantic when it comes to brand new Pokemon releases. They tend to release them in either eggs or in raid battles, instead of just having them as wild spawns, and this is just a continuation of that. So I do think it's a bit of a negative point with this event, but overall I still think it's a pretty decent event. So let's talk about the details for this Pokemon Horizons tie-in event, and then afterwards I'll be sharing some of my thoughts. The Pokemon Horizons celebration event is going to start on April 16 at 10 o'clock a.m. local time, and it's gonna go until April 22nd at 8 o'clock p.m. local time. The featured Pokemon for this event is going to be Florigato wearing a hat, as well as a brand new Pokemon, Tinkatink. And then something you need to keep in mind is that this costume Florigato is going to have an increased shiny chance. Now, the Pokemon that are going to be debuting are specifically these two featured Pokemon, Florigato wearing a hat with Lico's pin, as well as the Tinkatink family. Tinkatink does evolve into Tinkatuff with 25 candy, and then from Tinkatuff you could evolve it into Tinkaton for 100 Tinkatink candy. So if you want to get this Pokemon, it's definitely going to require some money spending, and we'll get more into that later. Now, let's talk about the event bonuses for this event. So, Team Go rocket balloons are going to appear more frequently, which is actually one of those event bonuses that I actually like. The reason why I say that is because the more Team Go rocket battles you can do, the more shadow Pokemon you're going to be able to get, as well as more 12-kilometer eggs and Team Go rocket leader battles that you'll be able to complete. Next up, every egg that you place in incubators during this event is going to have a half egg hatch distance, and then you're going to have an increased chance to encounter shiny Pikachu wearing a cap, as well as a shiny Florigato wearing a hat during this event. And then also during this event, they're going to be boosting the shiny rate for both Pikachu wearing Cap's hat, as well as shiny Florigato wearing a hat with Lico's pin. These are the two costume Pokemon that you will be able to get during this event, and they're also going to have an increased shiny chance. And something else you need to keep in mind is that during this event, you're going to be able to get an exclusive move on Pikachu wearing Cap's hat. It's going to learn the move Volt Tackle when you catch it, and that is actually a pretty powerful move for this one Pokemon. But next up, let's talk about the wild encounters, because this is actually a pretty good list of wild Pokemon you can get. First of all, you're going to be able to see Quagsire, Shuckle, Slugma, Nosepass, Snorunt, Sprigatito, Florigato wearing a hat with Lico's pin, Fuecoco, Quaxly, and Pawmi in the wild, and you're also going to see Pikachu wearing Cap's hat in the wild as an uncommon spawn. And the two costume Pokemon are going to have an increased shiny chance, so make sure you click on them when you see them, because there is a good chance it could potentially be a shiny. Now also during this event, there's going to be a free timed research, which is going to award you with experience, Stardust, as well as encounters with event-themed Pokemon. My guess is that these event-themed Pokemon are going to be the costume Pokemon, and possibly also Tinkatink as well. So make sure you complete this timed research. You do not want to miss out on these rewards. And then also during this event, there's going to be a paid timed research, which is going to award you with 1 regular incubator, an avatar pose, as well as encounters with Tinkatink. And there's also going to be event-themed field research tasks as well as Pokestop showcases. Do not miss out on that because it's a great way for you to get premium items. Next up, let's talk about the raiding content during this event. In 1-star raids, you're going to see the costume Pikachu, Chansey, and Rockruff, and then in 3-star raids, you're going to see Charizard, Alolan Muck, Metagross, as well as the costume Florigato. And both the Pikachu wearing Cap's hat and Florigato wearing a hat with Lico's pin are going to have a boosted shiny rate within raids. And then finally, let's talk about 7-kilometer egg hatches. You're going to be able to get Elekid, Haytena, Charcadet, as well as the new Pokemon Tinkatink. And it does seem like this is the only way to get the new Pokemon, which I think is going to rub players the wrong way, but this is how you're going to be able to get Tinkatink. It's only going to be available through 7-kilometer eggs. So yeah, what more can I say? It is a pretty decent event. There's some pretty good Pokemon that we will be able to catch, and I really like the idea of those costume Pokemon having an increased shiny chance. That's something that Niantic often does not do. But I do think we need to address the elephant in the room. Tinkatink is going to be one of those Pokemon that a lot of players will actually want to get, but unfortunately it's going to be locked behind premium content. So if there are any PvP implications behind this Pokemon, it's going to be very difficult for you to get PvP IVs, and I think overall players are just fed up with Niantic releasing new Pokemon behind premium content. It makes the game feel a little bit more pay to win, and overall it takes away a lot of the exploration aspects of it. And it draws a lot of the things that players want behind, well, a lot of RNG, because if you're hatching a whole bunch of eggs, there's a chance that you may not even get yourself the new Pokemon. And ultimately, that means you're going to have to spend more money on more incubators, and because of that, players just end up in this vicious cycle where they just do not end up getting what they want. I think players will always prefer having Pokemon just be wild spawns, and if you want to get yourself higher IVs, then you could do the premium content. But aside from that, it just seems like Niantic is just less interested in having you find Pokemon in the wild, which really is the essence of Pokemon, but yeah, they would rather you spend money for them. So yeah, that is quite unfortunate, but besides that, I still think this event is pretty good. The Florigato as well as the Pikachu costumes, I like the fact that they do have a boosted shiny rate. I think that's going to create a lot of hype and a lot of excitement behind this event, but the one thing I will say that is very true when it comes to these boosted shiny rates is that it's completely arbitrary. We really do not know how much they're going to be boosting the shiny rate, so I really do think you need to temper your expectations. Just because they say that they're boosting the shiny rate does not necessarily mean you're actually going to see the shiny. Sometimes when they say that, it's a very minimal boost, and it's something that they never disclose. So yeah, I think that might be the case here, considering that these are 2 costume Pokemon that are definitely going to be popular, considering that they're directly tied in to the animated series, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how it all ends up panning out. But in any case, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding this tie-in event down below. Are you excited for this event? And what are your thoughts regarding Tinkatink being locked behind premium content? Definitely share those thoughts in the comments down below, and let's have a great discussion. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here. And don't forget that notification bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And real quick, let me give a shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Jinsula channel, the absolute best way you could do that is by joining my Patreon. And if you become a paid Patreon member, I'm going to add you to my Pokemon Go friends list. So just like all the players that you're about to see on the bottom of your screen, if you want to play Pokemon Go with me, like remote raids, opening and sending gifts, different things like that, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. And if you want to support my channel in a completely different way, you're always welcome to do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula. I'm on the platforms that you see on the bottom of your screen. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow. That will be a tremendous help to my channel. And that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, and love yourself, and I'll catch you all later. 진솔아와 함께해